producing knowledge in all fields. For me, it's more than just studying. It's also something I take pride in because it helps me to tell unexplored stories of Africa.
Abdul Basit Kasim, a scholar on the Timbuktu. This is the BBC World Service, where The Reclaimers continues.
Purchase your tracks today.
You got to change the world. Change the world, y'all. Wake up, everybody. Wake up, everybody. It's the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother, John.
This is Kiana.
Hey, and this program is actually being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, a.k.a. See That.
See that?
And we like to thank y'all for tuning in and helping us to redefine what's cool. And we can't do it alone.
No. Good morning.
Good morning,
Mama
good
Blue.
morning, good morning, Mama Blue. I see you.
Kenyatta.
Yeah, in the building. Tag a friend, y'all. Tag a friend. You're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, the new 99 Jams morning show. And so we up. Kenyatta is on. She wins totally
This weekend.
because she never gives up. Huh?
Never give
I
up.
love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, like big weekend, right?
Big weekend. She kick off at the Deuces.
Okay.
At Urban Drinkery.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a meet and greet there.
Okay.
Then the second day, they're gonna be downtown. They're gonna go around. You get a photo shoot. They're gonna teach you about branding your businesses, and then on Sunday it ends up at Manhattan Casino.
Okay.
Where they're doing a fashion show where it's gonna be like local businesses and things. So it's gonna be really, really dope.
Nice.
So women, are y'all looking for something to do?
Okay.
Positive.
Got something to do.
Right.
We got something for you to do.
Look, to hang with some good women.
Yeah.
And learn some good stuff.
Yes.
It's like a double win to me.
Yeah.
I think it.
No, it's a total win.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I did
she
there?
wins
Totally. I love it. Shout out to you. I appreciate you.
And yes, I mean, there's so much stuff going on this weekend too. Then we got the Metro is doing the give back to the community,
Okay.
giving away free book bags.
Nice. Nice.
I don't have the address in front of me right now, but I know that's on the 23rd. And then it's gonna be the hip hop show Saturday night.
Is that hit the stage?
Yeah, like right there at Urban Drinkery again.
Okay,
Like
Urban
7 o'clock.
Drinkery is like the epicenter. It's the spot.
Right.
Yeah.
If you ain't been there, if you don't know about it, you know about it now.
Yeah. You will learn today,
Yeah,
huh?
you're gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today.
In our Kevin Hart's voice.
All the time. Just on a sadder note, Monique Howard want to definitely send out condolences to her. She lost her son on the 4th of July, and they had services for him this past weekend. And so definitely sending out thoughts, prayers, and positive vibrations over her way and her family. A beautiful young man, did a lot of great stuff in his short lifetime. And I remember, just them when we were doing the Stop the Violence coalition, organizing that in like 2012. They was like little, and just was like always there with their mom. Fun day they was there. Her daughter was like Miss Child's Park, and you know what I mean. And so it's just like that family is really close to us.
My heart breaks for them.
Yeah,
You shouldn't. Parents should not have to bury their children. I say that all the time.
True, it's true.
And then we also lost Michael Joe this
weekend. I saw that.
Great person.
Yeah.
Great person.
That's what I heard.
Great. Somebody who supported you and wanted everybody to win just as much as he wanted to win.
Yeah.
It was just genuine.
Yeah.
When you walked in the room, you just knew the love was genuine. I don't care where you saw him at. He just applauded you and praised you as you walked in. It didn't matter who you was.
Yeah.
And so he's definitely going to be missed. He was definitely a musician.
Right.
He did theater with Tron.
Okay.
A lot. Yeah, so he's going to be missed. And he was just newly married, too. So prayers out to his family and his wife.
Yeah.
So.
You never know, man. You never know. Brother Kendrick, I see you. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. All right. So this day in history. And we got a great show coming up too, y'all. We got Pinellas County Commissioner Rene Flowers is going to be joining us. So y'all stick around for it. If you got questions for a county commissioner, or if you want to get some updates and hear about what's happening in the county, she's a wealth of information, and we're looking forward to that conversation.
And this is the time that you ask these questions.
It is.
She's here.
Yep.
Y'all, let me tell you, the phone number, be ready for it, is 727-637-2416. If you have questions that you want answers to, this is the time that you call in and get them answered.
Yeah, pretty much.
When she gets here. Don't sit on your question.
Right. I should have asked her.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
No,
and you had the chance.
Had the chance.
And today is the day.
Today is the day. This day in history, July 18. It is the 199th day of the Gregorian calendar year.
Okay.
On this day, Adolf Hitler published Mein Kampf. Kim Jong-un was officially installed as the supreme leader of North Korea, and the government of Detroit filed for the largest municipal bankruptcy in U.S. history. Also on this day, Nelson Mandela was born. He was born in South Africa, and he became South Africa's first black president on May 10th, 1994. In Mandela's speech, he said, "Today, all of us do, by our presence here, and by our celebrations in other parts of the country and the world, confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that has lasted too long, must be born a society which all humanity will be proud." As South Africa's oldest elected president at age 75, Mandela served one term in office. His administration presided over the dismantling of apartheid throughout South Africa. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission was established under Mandela's administration to investigate human rights violations that were committed in the 60s through 94. And a new constitution for South Africa began during his administration. He made a commitment to improve the poor economic standards of South Africa's black people. And he enacted many social and economic programs. And unfortunately, 14 years after he left the presidency, he died on December 5th, 2013. And another thing, for those whose love language is hugs, Global Hug Your Kids Day is today.
My love language is definitely physical touch.
Physical touch,
yes, it is. So it's so crazy. So if I like you,
Okay.
it's physical touch. If I don't,
Okay.
don't touch me.
Okay. That's kind of that's the language of love. So it's Global Hug Your Kids Day. It's celebrated on the third Monday of July, which is July 18th this year. The day celebrates the bond between parents and children. The purpose of the day is simple: hug your children to express how much you love them. Hugging is a simple act of reassuring comfort, safety, and trust. Everyone can do with a hug, especially children. And when you hug your kids, you'll realize it makes you happy too.
It does.
A natural expression of love and a stress reliever. So don't forget to wrap your arms around your kids and hug your kids today.
Do your older kids let you hug them?
They do. Absolutely. It's not even a let thing. I got girls.
I'm just saying. I just asked because
Yeah.
some people it's
Yeah.
foreign. Because see,
Nah,
we're
I'm a hugger.
I'm a hugger. We're really touchy. Like
Yeah.
Cheyenne will come and get in my bed and cuddle with me. We'll watch.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like hugging is like what
Yeah.
we do.
It's a real thing. Yeah. So yeah, I don't have no qualms about hugging. Sierra, thank you for joining in. I see you. SYD Willis, Asia Gamble, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you watching.
Hey.
Another day that's today is Perfect Family Day.
Is there a perfect family?
Some believe that it is.
Okay.
Perfect Family Day is celebrated annually on July 18th. They believe that their perfect family does exist. Hopefully, everybody reading this will be feeling grateful for the family you have. Even perfect families must have their ups and downs.
Okay, I can rock with
You
that.
got that? So perfect don't mean no ups and downs. A perfect family is not one without problems, but it's one that can handle problems together based on love and respect.
Then I have a perfect family.
There you have it. There you have it. And it is, they said, love, respect, trust, and understanding seem to be the essential qualities of building and maintaining a perfect family. Without those qualities, it's hardly imaginable. And then it asks, does your family have those qualities? So let us know. Do you have love, respect, and trust in your family?
We do.
Yeah, we
I
really
know
do.
you do.
I do.
I know
We do. And we work on it. It's absolutely a work in progress. You have your ups and downs and all of that good stuff. So, yeah, take a look. Look again. So it's Perfect Family Hug Your Child Day. How about that one? All wrapped in one.
So celebrate today.
Celebrate.
If you ain't have a reason to celebrate,
You got
now
reason
you have one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I missed National Ice Cream Day was yesterday too, by the way.
Oh, and you know what? We went and had ice cream yesterday. So my auntie.
Did y'all go to the pier?
No, we didn't go to the pier.
Okay.
We didn't. So we decided, me, my auntie, and my mom decided to get ice cream. So we went to.
Because it was National Ice Cream Day, or just it was?
It was just we wanted ice cream.
Okay.
I can lie and be like, yeah, we
Oh,
doing
yeah,
it.
we
No,
do. No.
no.
We don't do that.
It just happened to stumble
Okay.
across it.
Okay.
So we go to Baskin Robbins
Okay.
on 4th Street. No ice cream. All they got is chocolate.
Because it was National Ice Cream Day. They probably sold out.
No, every time you go there.
They don't have, okay.
So then.
They that Baskin and Robbins, huh?
So then we went up 34th Street.
Okay.
And then they were closed. Right.
They must have didn't know it was National Ice Cream Day.
Then we went to Gulfport. We're chasing ice cream. Right?
Okay, at this point, yeah.
We go to Gulfport, Baskin Robbins.
Yep.
Right. They actually have the ice cream we want.
Okay.
But now the ice cream station closed down. So we can't get no ice cream now. So we settled for Wendy's and Wawa.
Okay, got you a frosty. Huh? All right. Well, yeah, that's a good way to spend it. I think they was doing it like all day at the pier yesterday. It was like from 11 to 8, National Ice Cream Day, but I missed that whole thing.
Yeah.
Too. All right. So also in the news, 4 big changes to credit reports and credit scores.
Okay, let's hear.
So number 1, well, I just start with the article. Here are 4 big changes you need to know about credit reports and credit scores. So, first of all, most medical debt will be removed from credit reports.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, starting this summer, the 3 main credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, are implementing a series of changes that will drastically affect how medical debt is treated on America's credit reports. Starting on July 1st, paid medical collection debt, bills that were turned over to a collection agency but eventually satisfied, will no longer appear on credit consumers' reports.
Okay.
Also on July 1st, consumers will get a full year to work out insurance and billing issues before unpaid medical debt gets reported on your credit file. Currently, this grace period is 6 months. In the first half of 2023, the credit bureaus will begin omitting all medical collection debt under $500 from credit reports.
Go ahead.
The credit bureaus say these changes will remove roughly 70% of medical collection debt from consumer reports. That's sure to have a welcome relief to tens of millions of Americans who have an estimated $88 billion in medical debt on their ledgers, according to a February 2022 report. So $88 billion in medical debt is what's on credit reports, and they're saying that they're going to make changes that's going to wipe out most of it. And yeah, good stuff.
I like it.
Yeah. Buy now, pay here later accounts will be added to your credit files, is what it's saying. Buy now, pay later. And so the BNPL, if you shopped online at places like Amazon, Walmart, or Target, you've probably been offered to pay purchase installments. You know how they say you can pay it in installments? That's the emergency model called buy now, pay later. With customers paying for purchases over several weeks or several months with no interest. These options provide people with payment flexibility and the appeal of no finance charges, unlike most credit cards. And so the bottom line is this: even if you pay a buy now, pay later account on time, be mindful that it may possibly impact your credit score because they're adding them to credit scores now.
So you have to pay them on time.
Pretty much.
I mean,
if you want to, you stay where you need to be.
Right, but again, it may be a good benefit for you. So
yeah. Good morning, sweetie. I see you and my wife on.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. It's all about how you use it.
Yeah.
How you use those buy now, pay later.
But you know what? A lot of people use them. I mean, it's offered everywhere, even vacations now.
The payment option?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So, like, I know people.
We need Rene to call in. What's the hidden agenda?
No, actually, you just figure it out and then tell them you want to buy. If you qualify, they're going to go ahead and split that up. So
split it up in payments. Huh?
You can already been on your vacation and still paying for it by the time you get back. Like, but it's still a benefit for people who don't have big lump sums of money.
I agree.
And you want to be able to experience other things. So, like, if a trip costs a family of four, let's say on the bottom end, $2,500.
Okay.
Flights and everything like that. And if you have to pay within like 6 months, however that payment, now you and your family can afford to go on a vacation where normally you
That's true. That's true. So, I agree. I like what to be paid for when I get back though, because after this, like, I do too. It's hard to pay for a trip you already done been on.
Yeah, but
you can pay for it getting ready to go, but once you get back, like you still paying for it. For me, that's a little tough.
Maybe, but think of it like this: that like if it's the summer, y'all out, the kids are out for the summer, and this is the only time you have. Yeah. And then you plan it, and then what you want to put the trip off until you pay it off. And now the kids back in school. You don't
I know we going in the summer, so I'm gonna start paying on it in the fall. That's how it goes, right? King Jab, what's good?
Oh,
we got King Jab. We got the voice of the people in the building, y'all. Say that again.
Yeah, we do buy here, pay here at Agape also.
Okay, buy now, pay later.
It's very something that they market the businesses a lot.
Okay, the buy now, pay later option.
I know a lot of businesses. I think also. I seen Elite Tires, I think, does that as well. I seen advertisement for that.
Saying that you can buy now, pay later?
Yeah. So people are really doing it because, I mean, honestly, if you listen to the news, the economy is saying everybody is still struggling, right?
Right.
And so you still want to enjoy life. And then, I mean, I think this does give an option for everybody to have a equal playing field.
Yeah.
So that you can offer. I like it because you get to offer your family something that normally you wouldn't. Where there's people. Just think. I remember when Cheyenne was in high school and we took the kids to Atlanta. Half of them kids had never been to Tampa.
Right.
And we think that's nowhere. And so now families are allowed to, give their kids or just themselves experiences that normally they wouldn't be able to afford.
No, I unite with that. But yeah, that's and it's actually going to be on your credit report now. Free credit reports available through the end of 2022. The economic fallout from COVID-19 pandemic wreaked havoc on millions of Americans between job layoffs, business interruptions, and social distancing. The past 2 years have been tough for a lot of people, especially older adults. Early in the pandemic, many lenders and creditors offered more flexible payment options, which such as loan deferments and forbearances to help people who were struggling to keep up with their bills. And the credit bureaus also were offering free weekly credit reports. Pre-pandemic, you can get your report once a year for free from the credit bureau. During the pandemic, they said you can do it every week. That offer was supposed to expire on April 20th, but credit bureaus recently extended it until the end of the year through December 21st, so you can continue to request a free weekly report online. The monitoring files, they said Harzog, it says monitoring credit files once every few months, alternating between reports on each bureau is sufficient for every family. However, there is something major going on in your life, like a divorce, if you had a problem with identity theft or some other issues, then you can check your credit report every week. But it's not something that is like recommended that you have to do, but it is available to check your credit report every week through the end of the year for free.
I go on Credit Karma anyway.
Okay.
Hey, that credit is very important, man. Because I just got my wife a new car. I had to get another car because the car
I saw
got
that.
totaled.
Yeah.
And
Big boy status.
unfortunately, some people think that it's 88 and we walking in a dealership dumping bags of money. No,
Not happening. It's not happening like that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's not happening.
It's actually business credit leveraged by personal credit.
Okay.
And that car is not even, it's owned by Agape Souls.
Yeah, by your business. Huh?
So that personal credit is important because you can leverage the business credit without it. But you have people talking about build your business credit and do this, do that. Ain't nothing gonna happen unless you can guarantee off of your personal credit first to get these things started.
Okay.
So that's very important.
So you can't have like a 420 and then
a popping business,
right?
And try to use unless you bringing in a lot of money. If you showing
revenue,
that income in the bank and it's coming in like that, that's you can pretty much wiggle around it. But
for the most part,
they want a guarantor, and it's so many things that can open up, man. Business credit cards,
right,
auto loans, fleet financing.
Okay.
I got a new business venture I got coming, man.
Yes, sir.
And pretty much because I see a lot of people. I watch a lot of social media and they tell you how to do these things.
Oh yeah, you got to be careful.
So
with
I'm
that
actually sit down and do it for you. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people just don't want to do it. I don't know, but
it's like
pay for your time.
It's like changing brakes. Like just because you know how to do it, don't mean that you want to do it, and you can pay somebody that can do it.
There's a lot of stuff that I know how to do that I just don't want to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not, and I drag my feet on doing it.
Yeah.
You I don't want to do it.
Yeah. You can pay somebody and get it done.
Right.
Exactly.
Sweet, I see you. Speaking of getting things done, 22 Tech.
Did y'all see there was an active shooter in Ellington yesterday?
No, I didn't see that.
I was 2 X's up.
Oh.
At a place called The Grove at my aunt's brunch for her birthday.
Okay.
And as soon as I left there, the notification came. As I'm passing Ellington, coming back home, the notification came back. And I'm like, and ironically,
was it a news break or something?
News break.
Well, listen. Yeah, news break.
Need to send a donation. But it was crazy because we sitting there eating brunch, and my cousin, he's a CO.
Okay.
He was like, man, I should have bought my gun.
So what, he was going over to Ellington?
No, we was sitting there eating, but he just was sitting there. He was like looking around, watching the atmosphere. Like, man, I should have bought my firearm because it go down sometimes in these environments.
It's true.
Scary thing about Ellington too, I honestly think because our media portrayal of us.
Okay.
I think it was some Spanish dudes that shot a black dude. That's why you're really not seeing a lot of stuff
on
like that.
Because they were saying the guy was there, and then with somebody else, and then 3 other guys approached him, and then they kind of had words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the 2 guys walked away, and the other 3 guys, when they got to the parking lot, started shooting.
Oh wow.
He got shot, but the other guys, he got shot in the leg.
So it was like a dispute that escalated.
Mm-hmm.
Not like this other stuff that's been going
right.
on.
No, they don't think it. They think it was targeted just for them, nobody else. But when it first came out, it was like active shooting right now in Ellington.
But ironically, like it's interesting that people are just pulling out their guns, popping off like in public areas. Like everything is recorded. You can't go anywhere and not be on the camera.
True.
People just don't care anymore. I'm
Yeah.
pulling out, and I'm gonna fire it right here, man, in the parking lot.
Don't even matter.
Like-
yeah.
Well, this is for me.
Don't care
right?
nothing about going to jail.
And so, I mean, anybody
Yes, they
else
do.
can chime
Yes,
in,
they
right?
do.
Chime in. I think now we see it in the news every day about gun shootings, right?
Yep.
Every day. And I think like they send out a memo that any shot that go out needs to be on the news.
Okay.
Because all of a sudden now everybody's pushing for the gun control.
Okay.
But now you see it every day in the news. And
Yeah,
you
I got a
can't
story
tell
here.
me
Yeah,
that like
Indiana.
life just changed overnight. Everybody want a gun out.
Like
And
everybody
then-
just woke up and started
and then
shooting
just
people.
started, it's the Wild Wild West. All of
Okay.
a sudden, and it was never there.
So you thinking it's just coverage of shootings to
I think it
push
is.
the
and
gun
this-
control agenda?
That's what I think.
Okay.
I think that's part of the factor, and it's just a lack of respect that people have for each other now,
Yeah.
man. Like we go places and I'm again, these are my thoughts of Jet King's jab,
the views
not the
expressed
views
on
of
this program.
99
That's
Jam.
why I said
But-
this is my thought
But
on it.
Right, right.
you go
This
places
not
and I
the
see
99 Jam.
I've seen like where other people, other races, like they'll do all these movements and stuff, and just to get a versus just saying excuse me,
Yeah.
especially the black women. So it's like it's a very low lack of respect right
Yeah.
now, man.
Just
Like,
say excuse me, and then
Yeah.
it opened up.
man,
Yeah.
listen, do the limbo under the rail, everything versus just in
Just trying
these are
to.
other women, like these are Spanish and white women. Like let's just be real.
Okay.
And versus say excuse me, they will watch them.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
watch them. So I think it's just
Huh. See, I ain't
It's
really been
become a-
out. I don't be going out. No.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just left. So I just left the state, Arizona,
Okay.
where it's an open carry,
Okay.
Mhm.
right? I mean,
That's like gun on your hip.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
let me show
Okay.
you.
do
You
it.
gotta
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
10
Like,
paces, baby.
Yeah, I got it.
Let's
What?
do it.
Yeah.
you in Walmart and you see that gun right there. Like
Okay.
everybody in Arizona got a gun.
Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
You
Gotcha.
know? Yeah.
What's
so,
the crime rate and incidents of shootings out there? I guess that's
Well, the thing about it is, if you feel like you're finna shoot up this Walmart, then we finna get it in.
yeah. You
You know
gotta
what I mean?
yeah
Like you,
yeah
And shout out to my brother Brian Harrell, because
Yes.
they do the training, and I'm trying to get our black women and children into this training, man. Y'all need to know how to work and operate firearms and protect the household.
They had something Thursday.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
They had the training
Absolutely.
Thursday,
And they do it every
Beatrice came by.
Thursday. They
Okay.
do it every
Oh,
Thursday.
every
No, every
Thursday.
Saturday
Okay.
at PCC in the AM. I think they do
Okay.
the hand-to-hand combat training. Then they leave and go to the range.
Okay. Yeah, because I know Sister
might-
Beatrice came by to talk about the program they were doing.
Do they have the concealed weapons?
Yes, they
Okay.
do all of that.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah, no, we need all that information. Y'all know I'm.
Hey man, when them young women and men turn 21, man, get them trained, man.
Responsible gun ownership. Huh?
Get them
They
trained.
should. I mean, honestly,
You
y'all,
you be said an armed society is a polite society.
they are. I believe that.
That bring that respect level back.
Excuse me.
Because the
That'll
objective,
get you excuse me. They say
you know, the
everybody.
objective
you
is to
holding.
get home, right? And if you know that everybody in the building is carrying the likelihood of you pulling out a gun
Yep.
is a little bit slimmer than normal, because you know it's a possibility you can get shot too.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
true.
well, I can say this. I hate to put for scenarios, but just take the school shooting situation.
Mm-hmm.
If that was happened to be at maximum or something like that, you think it'll take 50 minutes for us to get in there? Cause we
No,
gonna tell
sir.
officer, y'all come out the way.
Right.
Y'all go on over here and sit down. We don't even worry. Y'all they back us up.
Yeah, we
Don't
got
even
that.
worry about it. We got this.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it,
Don't worry
sweetheart.
about
Don't even worry about it.
Them my children in there.
And
Those are
now
my
one of
babies
mine,
in
but they
there.
all mine.
Yeah,
Right.
You know
that's
what I
right.
mean?
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. That's absolutely right. All right, and then I saw this 988 suicide crisis lifeline.
Right, they're changing it so you don't have to dial that whole number, but it's still available
Yep.
Mhm.
for
So-
people who need it.
Okay, the long number, because I
The
don't know
long
what the
number.
long, but yeah,
I don't know the name.
yeah, but you could do 988. They said on July 16th, in the Tampa Bay area, will join the rest of the United States in beginning to use 988 dialing code. 988 is the new 3-digit number to call in multiple languages. You can text or chat as well, and it connects people with existing national suicide lifelines, where compassionate, accessible care and support are available to anyone experiencing mental health related distress. So 988 is the new number.
Right.
and it happened in our lifetime. Look, we got 911 and
9
211 and 311
That's
and
big though.
yeah.
'Cause,
Depression is big, and
Oh
we
yeah,
and I'm glad that we talk about it. We have a platform where we can really dive in
right.
and discuss this and have a really good dialogue for it, because again, it's our community that suffers more than anybody else,
Yep.
because we were told to like suck it up, buttercup.
Pretty much. Pray about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
All of that. And
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt.
and words really do hurt.
that was the best one.
That was the best one.
And I think
Messing up our mental health.
exactly. I think I become more of an advocate for suicide because
Suicide prevention.
suicide prevention.
Thank you.
Because I was
Kill yourself.
I had this conversation with my wife. I'm like, baby, I've never really thought about killing myself. Like I've
Yeah.
been through a lot. 10 years in prison. I sat in the hole.
Right.
Like y'all watching the movies where you looking around, seeing tweeting at birds. I sat in the hole for 19 months.
Okay. Yeah.
I never considered that,
Yeah.
but to see other people go through it,
Right.
now I'm looking at it like, wow, like, I think I always thought, some people think their situation is the biggest in the world.
Right.
Right.
And it leveled me down like everybody got a situation, bro. It don't
That's
matter
true.
how big yours might be bigger than theirs, but everybody got a situation,
That's true.
and some people just can't handle it.
Yeah. 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 No, I actually thought about suicide like years ago, like in the 90s. I
See,
considered suicide, and it was just my motivation was just trying to stop myself. Right. Like I was out of control, and I saw the harm and the hurt that I was causing people who really love me. And I was on drugs and all of that stuff too. And I was hanging with some white folks. You know how that go. And took some drugs that I don't normally take, and I was coming up off of them drugs. And my mind just was like, man, you a horrible person. And then like all of my demons just started like, and all of the stuff I had done, all the stuff I was doing, and it was just like this overwhelming feeling of guilt. And I was like, man, just end it. You know what I'm saying? And like I really was like in a moment where and it wasn't like, for me, it was just like, I know this person don't deserve it, but I don't know how to stop myself. So it's like, it was like some real, it was like some crazy stuff that I was dealing with, but I really thought about like taking my life. You know what I'm saying?
And just think about the people who are experiencing the same thing that you did, and then actually do it. Because at that point, again, I don't believe you're not in the right state of mind. And so you think that you're helping everybody else because you're a hindrance. And then depending on how long that depression is, and you really have to be strong-willed to fight that, because it's a battle.
I had support. It was my sister. May God be pleased with her, man. My sister, she came. My wife, girlfriend at the time, she called. Hey, y'all better come get him. He tripping. He tripping. You know what I'm saying?
It's real.
But she came like she always do. She was there for me. You know what I mean? And the experience, I tell you, fast forward, after that experience, I was able, by God's grace, to successfully talk two people out of like immediate crisis and talk them out of killing themselves. I was called to intervene with a brother who was like threatening suicide. And they sent me in, right? They didn't send me in, like they came like, what we gonna do? And I just went in.
What you go do? But you had been there before.
I had been there, and I was able to like really
that was
connect.
instinct. You like, you know what, I done been here, man. I know what it is. And we live in a city where, right, 5 minutes from here is the Skyway Bridge. Like they literally had to go and put fencing on this because people were jumping daily.
Every day.
Daily. So this is definitely something that is happening right here around us.
So friends and family, pay attention to your loved ones.
Yes.
When they start to like step back from the world.
Yeah. We're actually doing this. We're going to the state of Black mental health with Dr. Brittany Peters and some others. And she talk about, and she got this whole, thing about, ways that you can identify, suicidal ideation is what they call it. She talked about, what did she call it? Passive suicide. Where it's like you not like actively suicidal, but you doing stuff that's basically like you've already given up. Like you self-sabotage.
You're drinking every day.
So like you killing yourself, but you just doing it in a different way.
So people are creatures of habit. So when something changed in their life and you see them doing something different and it's definitely something that's not positive, you should pay a little bit more attention. That's what I say. I'm not a suicide counselor, so I don't want to give a whole bunch of stuff because I don't want to say what's wrong. But just pay attention to the people around you, especially your loved ones, because there's always signs. Even if there's slight signs, they're always there.
Yeah.
Because people are crying. People literally cry out for help.
But you hear what you said, though, Kiana? That's what most of them people just really want, somebody to pay attention.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because they'll walk around like everything all right. Ain't nobody really paying attention.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, because my brother John will tell you, I'm the brother that'll call you like, hey, what's up? Bro, I ain't heard nothing from you. Everything straight?
You will do that.
What's up?
Will do that.
I feel it, boy. I feel it, boy.
Will.
What's up? Everything straight?
And I done got some calls where I wasn't suicidal, but I wasn't in a good spot. And he calling them like, man, you know what? Yeah, it's heavy right now.
You can really
sometimes it get heavy.
Yeah.
You do.
And you just need some support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you really do.
Get heavy.
And it's just something and it's your strongest friends too.
Yeah.
Who typically handle a lot of responsibility and everybody depend on them.
Yeah.
Because we mask what we're going through because we be like, who's gonna help us? Because they need us to help them.
True.
So
no, we don't want to put the burden on them.
No,
like they going through their own stuff, so I ain't gonna bother them.
That's kind of why I do that though, because I call my brothers like Brother John Reno. I feel like you off your pattern, what's up?
Yeah.
And these are strong men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You do that.
Yeah.
You do that.
But I'm a friend like that. Like my friends will tell you, like, you can just tell, like when they off, they off.
I don't know if we're gonna check the back door, but we gotta take a real quick break, y'all. So if you are having suicidal thoughts or ideation, you can call the number now. It is a suicide crisis lifeline. It's now available in the Tampa Bay area. You can call 988 if you are experiencing suicide crisis, or if you know someone who is also experiencing crisis. So please make sure you do it. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
All right, and we're about to take a quick break.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with our guests. We've got Pinellas County Commissioner Rene Flowers. You know Renee in the building, in the building, y'all. So we'll be right back with more from the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on
WUJM, St. Petersburg.
Right now.
Peace and light. This is your brother John, and I would like to invite you to tune in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Jams every Monday and Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the latest in pop culture news and unique perspectives on hot topics. Make sure you tune in and start your day off right with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99.1 FM, 99 Jams.
And we begin in Ukraine, where President Volodymyr Zelensky has announced a major shakeup on his government, firing the chief of Ukraine's domestic intelligence agency, the SBU, and his prosecutor general. Spy chief Ivan Bakanov and top state prosecutor Irina Venediktova were both once considered close allies of Mr. Zelensky. But in a video address, the Ukrainian president said he could no longer trust them to carry out their duties effectively, as many members of their agencies had collaborated with Russia, with more than 650 cases opened into alleged treason. To tell us more, we can speak now to Oleksiy Sorokin, the political editor of the Kiev Independent. Welcome to Newsday. I mean, accusations of treason and collaboration with the enemy, very serious allegations, and directed at people who were once close allies of the president. How do you react to this development?
Well, unfortunately, the SBU has been poised by treason from the start of Russia's full-scale war. So since late February, every second week we heard that one top official from the SBU was either arrested or deranked, and it was a matter of time that this had to come up and bite Bakanov.
And is there some credible
to a lesser
evidence
degree,
here,
who are
or are we just
intentionally
talking about
sabotaging the president's agenda, what the American people want, what a majority of us, the Democratic caucus, want? Nothing new about this. And the problem was that we continue to talk to Manchin like he was serious. He was not. This is a guy who is a major recipient of fossil fuel money, a guy who has received campaign contributions from 25 Republican billionaires. In my humble opinion, Manchin represents the very wealthiest people in this country, not working families in West Virginia or America.
Independent Senator Bernie Sanders. Politico reports a number of executives recently maxed out their campaign contributions to Senator Joe Manchin, including banker Warren Stevens, hotel executive Tom Baltimore, Motorola CEO Greg Brown, Home Depot CEO Edward Decker, Yum Brands CEO David Gibbs, Gillette CEO James Kilt, and Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has fired the head of the Ukraine Domestic Security Agency, the SBU, as well as Ukraine's top prosecutor during a
And then this King Jab. How y'all doing today?
And we have special guest in the building with us, Rene Flowers, Pinellas County Commissioner for District 7.
Good morning. Good morning.
How you?
It's early.
It is.
Way
It
too
is.
early.
It is. I was going to ask you that.
No, I'm normally up. Maybe not out, but I'm normally up.
Yeah, no, I got it. I be up and out, but I just don't be dressed all the time. Because like you running around doing that little, like, okay, get out. All right, good day. Make it a great day. Papa, I love you. And then I'm back to the house. So I get it when you got to leave and get ready to like start your day a little earlier than usual. So thank you for coming. Definitely thank you for coming.
Anytime, I always come.
Absolutely. So for those who don't know, we wanted to talk about the role of a Pinellas County Commissioner, just to kind of set the stage. Like, what does a Pinellas County Commissioner do?
Well, there are 987,000 people in Pinellas County, give or take on any specific day. We operate a $3.1 billion budget. We cover the unincorporated parts of the county. So there are 24 municipalities that have their own mayor, their own city council, their own governance. So we cover all of those areas like Lellman,
Okay.
that don't have that type of governance structure. We take care of stormwater, sewer, sidewalks, roadway improvements, transportation, social service
Look, a lot of
department.
stuff, yeah.
And we provide the budgets for the constitutional officers, which is the sheriff's office, property appraiser, tax collector, supervisor of elections. We do not manage their day-to-day offerings, which a lot of people will call us and, they're upset.
The sheriff tripping, right?
But we provide them with their budget.
Okay.
And so that's the relationship that we have. And then, of course, just really trying to work together to make sure that those services go across. We also cover the national parks like Fort DeSoto.
Okay.
And Peria Park and other parks like that.
Fort DeSoto's a national park?
Yeah, it's considered a national.
I didn't know that.
Well,
You knew that?
we had all of the Spaniards that actually landed there.
Yeah.
They claim, I love it when people say they found something. You can't find something that's already there and already occupied.
It's new to you, right?
Yeah, it's new to them, but it was new to the Indians that were here.
That's right.
And so we cover all of that. And of course, we provide the park rangers who cover those parks.
Gotcha.
And look out for some of the wildlife and things of that nature. And certainly any environmental issues that come.
Right. Found that out with the Smell Something campaign.
Yes,
right.
Which I'm happy that you're working on that. And I'm proud to, push the envelope on my side of the coin to try to get some resolution.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And since you bring that up, while the state of Florida passes all of the bills and laws that regulate air quality, they pass the responsibility of monitoring down to the county. Yeah.
And like I said, it's been an interesting journey.
Yes.
Just, figuring this out and trying to navigate, how to get some
They create the laws that allow the slippage.
Yep.
And then they tell us we have to
clean it up.
But we can't clean it up because the bills that they pass give us certain limitations. So
yeah.
Pass the buck.
It's a lot of work.
It is. And I know recently, so you were just reelected to your seat.
Hallelujah. Thank you to the public.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But the thing that got my attention with your election was that you had just gotten elected.
Yeah.
So how did this happen where you were having to run again? So let me just kind of frame it. You have a 4-year term. And you 2 years in and had to run for reelection.
And had to run again, like the road runner.
What happened?
Well, redistricting occurs every 10 years. We all know that. And sometimes lines change greatly. For example, with Congressman Charlie Crist's boundary lines, his lines changed greatly. They run farther north. In my case, my boundaries did not change. As a matter of fact, because the city of St. Pete increased so in its population, my boundaries moved back a little bit. So I don't take up as much of Pinellas Park as I did before. But I still have an equitable number of persons that I represent in my district from east to west and north to south. And so Karen Seal, who I have a lot of respect for, she may be a registered Republican, but she has worked tremendously in the area of education. She served on JWB and made sure that a lot of programs were funded. She's worked on health and health equity issues. Those are her things. But I guess that was a little too liberal for some of her friends. And so, and this is Rene Flowers talking, but Rene Flowers has been a she was not going to run again. She had served for over 25 years. And so Vala, who was term limited in the House of Representatives. And so he immediately filed for that seat even before the bill was signed. And so he is the benefactor of that legislation.
Did he write it?
Well, he's saying he didn't, but again, being a political operative, I got word about this as it was in the discussion phase. I also got a call telling me on the day that we had the groundbreaking for the Innovation Center on 4th Street, I got a call telling me that Chris Sprouse was after me because some of you may have seen the Twitter battle that I had with Chris Lotval. And basically what I did was I challenged him. You know, you're talking about what you do for the African-American community and what you've done in South St. Pete. So how about you and I have a friendly forum discussion in the community and you share with everybody what it is that you did. So that I can share with you what you didn't do.
There you go.
And, you know, of course, I'll challenge you. I'll take you on any day. Well, you know, that never happened. It never was going to happen, at least with him at the table. So, it was interesting, but he's the only person that benefits. And again, Pinellas County was the only county that fell into that realm. That's all I can say.
That's how everybody can say.
Look, everybody just like the exhale on it.
We did sue. We did sue. Our attorney, Jewel White, thought that we had a wonderful case. As you know, DeSantis appointed a number of individuals to the courts. Unfortunately, we had to try the case in Tallahassee. We prepared for the case. We felt we had a very solid case on constitutional grounds, not feelings and emotions. On constitutional grounds. Commissioner Janet Long was the commissioner that was going up to represent the county commission along with our attorneys. In tandem, our own county clerk also sued us.
sued the county commission.
Yes, he sued us. He said that he felt that it was a frivolous lawsuit. Now, mind you, a lot of people don't know this. The county clerk is also the person who's over auditing of our financial resources.
Okay.
Which is fine. And he does let me preface this. Kim Burke does a wonderful job with the county clerk's office.
Okay.
There are a number of minorities that have been hired in the clerk's office, promoted in the clerk's office, and I think it runs like butter. It runs very smooth. But he did sue us. So
that don't change the fact.
It don't change the fact. Now, I'm not saying, but I'm saying this. The Republicans had what they call their Lincoln dinner, the equivalent of our large Florida Blue fundraiser.
Okay, gotcha.
They had the Lincoln dinner. He went to Lincoln dinner. A few days later,
a lawsuit.
He sued us. Yeah. So we were fighting 2 lawsuits.
Okay.
So our team requested, because of COVID and because of the travel distance, could we have that hearing virtually? A lot of people are doing that. Everybody's doing that.
Yeah.
We were denied. So our attorneys, along with the commissioner, went up to Tallahassee. So, travel, hotel room. When they got there, the judge would not even hear our case. He did not hear from Commissioner Janet Long. The attorneys did present their information and answer questions. He himself said, and I quote, "This is the worst written language I've ever seen."
Wow.
But he ruled against us. However, he allowed our clerk to appear virtually and did not make him drive to Tallahassee.
Give us free.
So in other words,
oh my God.
If you, the public,
yeah,
want to see tomfoolery stop when it comes to the legislative process, when it comes to separating out the branches of government and assuring that you will get a fair hearing and a fair trial, you've got to vote.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that,
and
'cause
judges
that's why I was
are
gonna
on the
go to.
ballot.
They are. And a lot of people don't follow up or look into the judges.
Yeah.
Because, we look at just the the things that we feel are big here. And then the small stuff, we be like, it don't really matter. But those things matter.
Yes.
If you didn't hear anything else than what Rene said, is that it's important that you vote, because you have to get like-minded people in the office. And when you have like-minded people, then our officials then can do their jobs.
And we can see that it can be done. I mean, there are a number of appellate courts that, they were appointed by Donald Trump, but they ruled against him.
Yeah.
Because they're following the law. It doesn't matter what party you're in.
Right.
The justice is blind kind of thing.
Right.
And unfortunately, we're seeing that it is not. I was at an event the other day, last week, and they were doing some resolutions, and the comment was made, we want to applaud our first African-American male Supreme Court justice and Clarence Thomas. So in other words, they were, they say and, so you got to get it. They were recognizing Thurgood Marshall and saying, Clarence Thomas, sir, but whatever.
I caught what they were saying.
Yeah. So it was disheartening because you could just see it wasn't even transparent about what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
And so lo and behold, the judge did say that he was not going to hear the lawsuit from the clerk. So that lawsuit was dropped, and we chose not to appeal because we knew what was going to happen there. I tell you, I have so much more respect for Karen Seal after that, because she made a very declarative statement. And I think what it shows is that some people don't have respect even for the people who follow some of the same conservative guidelines that they follow.
Right.
It's all about the shark manifestation. You put raw meat out there and everybody's going to bite.
Right.
But I am a believer that, as in your words, believe and do good.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I'm just believing that my role there is to continue to do what I've been doing since I got there, which is bringing resources to the areas that I represent, even though I represent the whole county, but bringing resources to the area that I represent, working with municipalities and across sectors to improve the lives of Black and brown skinned people.
Love it. Love it. So look, y'all, we're going to take a real quick break. Thank you for that. That was a lot. We need to let it breathe a little bit.
Yeah, that was a lot. She laid it down. I ain't even get a word in.
I'm sorry.
But
it was info. So that's great. That's a great thing, because I was listening. I'm trying to take it all in. And I did always said that the most racist institute in America is the court system.
Right.
And she just broke this down because even with your situation, when they come to them judging us as black men, it's the most racist institute in America.
Yeah, it was not built for us.
Exactly.
The Declaration of Independence was not written for us. The Constitution was not written with us in mind. It did say that we did not account for a whole man
right.
or a woman. It said that, and it put us, and a lot of people still don't know this, we are still, as black people, under the Department of Commerce.
Really?
Yes, we were goods and services.
Yeah, we
which
were like
makes
a product,
it difficult, So when we're talking about the passage of the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and other things, this is why we're having such great concerns. You look at other bills that pass with flying colors. We look at which I support the gun protection law bill that just passed. You see how quickly that went through?
Yeah.
So there really is no reason why anything related to the Voting Rights Act, especially when, you've had even Republicans support it over a number of years.
Yeah.
But it always gets stalemated because it recognizes and offers authority and consistent power. So, the Voting Rights Act has to be voted on consistently. It's the only one, right? But instead, so, if it was ingrained in the Constitution, we wouldn't have to keep going back, right? But because it is not, and we would consider commerce because we were goods and services. And some people, unfortunately, still look at us as goods and services.
I think we should use that angle to make our own political party.
So the Fat Mac, he said, black men, we still have no rights in the Constitution. A scruffy dog has more rights than we do.
That is true.
Yeah. Who else we got here? Facebook user says very informative. 100%. The courts are not for us. And
by the way, on the 25th, my sorority, I'm an AKA, I chair the connection committee. We had a forum on the 17th and included the judges because I want people to meet them.
Yes.
And even though they can't say very much, just to meet them, hear from them, see them face to face, and maybe ask some questions. So there is another forum that we're giving on the 25th at 6:00 at the Enoch Davis Center. Judges are first. We allow them to go first. So please, if anyone is out there, don't just blindly vote or don't not vote because it may be your family member standing before one of them. You want to see who's there.
All right, so we'll be right back. It's going to be quick, y'all, like a 15-second break, and we'll be right back with more of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on
WUJM. St. Petersburg.
Right now. Peace and light. This is your brother John, and I would like to invite you to tune in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Jams every Monday and Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the latest in pop culture news and unique perspectives on hot topics. Make sure you tune in and start your day off right with the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99.1 FM, 99 Jams. All right, welcome back to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is Kiana.
This King Jab.
And we got special guest in the building, Commissioner Rene Flowers, Pinellas County Commissioner.
Hello.
You know Rene.
Listen, I feel like the Steve Harvey Morning Show up in here,
You know Rene.
We got Shirley over here.
Nephew Tommy.
Yes, Steve.
I'll take that. I'm trying to get them acres that Steve got. Like Steve got acres.
Listen, he started sleeping in his car and pushing and didn't have windshield wipers and whole 9 yards. So if he started there, you can do it.
Just keep pushing.
This is the best morning show.
It really is,
so
if I must say so myself. So we talked about the race, the role of a commissioner, and would you mind just sharing with us? So it's been maybe almost 2 years now.
Almost 2. Well, November.
Okay,
will be 2 years.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
2 full years.
And so, what have been some of the things that you've been working on over the time that you've been there?
Well, the first thing that I got, I started what I call my work days. I did it when I was on City Council in St. Pete because you have employees that share concerns with employees of voters and taxpayers.
Okay.
So we need to go out. I feel like we need to go out and see what it is that they do. And so, I had a work day at the Stormwater Sewer. Praise God, thank you so much for those people and that job because that is not something I could do.
Yeah.
And I had a work day at the Fire Training Center. Some people don't know that we have a fire training center where persons who are firefighters and EMTs, they go back out and they retrain and get their CEUs.
Okay.
St. Pete College actually operates it, but it sits on land that the county owns. And I went out there and was told that there were certain areas I couldn't go into because they were not safe. And so that concerned me. We have people out here who are supposed to be protecting us, but they're training on equipment that's not safe. And so communicated immediately with Dr. Tanja Williams, talked to the staff out there, called Barry Burton, who met me out there. And as a result of that, I worked with him and got $1.25 million to beef up that center and get it back into its safety standards. And so that's critically important because you have fire stations that are North County that are self-operating. With the ARPA dollars, able to get a ton of money into the housing emergency components, provided 18 million of that to the city of St. Petersburg because St. Pete had the largest homeless population, and that only increased when persons lost employment and things of that nature. As a matter of fact, 19 million more is going to be coming down the pike for social service agencies. I know you have a social service program that's going to be spearheaded by the Pinellas Community Foundation. That's who we're running those dollars through. And the rules are a little more lax. You can apply for equipment, you can apply for administrative dollars. So please, by all means, apply. Anyone that's out there listening to me, please apply. Working with affordable housing, with Blue Sky Communities, Habitat for Humanity, and so many others. You'll see a number of units going up. We provided over 880 affordable units. So the max rent is $900.
Wow.
And we have the one here in St. Pete, Skyway Lofts, but there are several in Pinellas Park. We have one that's coming up down from the large Walmart in Pinellas Park. So they're popping up all over the county. And we have a veterans affordable unit that will be coming up in Seminole. So that one I'm super excited about. Working with tiny homes and partnering to build those tiny homes throughout the community, because that's just another way to reduce the cost of either home ownership or apartment living. And we have a lot of people who they don't want that large space. I love closets because I love clothes,
right?
But a lot of people don't want that kind of space. Working with the supervisor of elections office to make sure that the equipment that she needs, she has it before the election is coming up, so that there are no issues and no problems. Our SOE office, even though it may be a person who is of the Republican Party, I've worked with Julie Marcus. As a matter of fact, when I ran for office as a council member, she was just becoming employed with the SOE. So that's been over 20 years.
Wow.
And we have had stellar races. We've had maybe minute hiccups, and I'm talking small, that are corrected immediately.
Right.
But when you look at the country as a whole, they use us as an example. So I wanted to make sure that whatever she needed, that's what she has, so that we don't have any issues or problems.
I can attest to that because my wife worked there for about like a year and a half, and she said that place is ran A1. She said that she was like, no, supervisor election, they own their stuff. They're doing their job. And that's why they say a lot of elections are won, like the presidential election get called right here when Pinellas get counted.
It does.
It's over with.
So goes Pinellas and the I-4 corridor.
It's over with.
That's true.
And our local races, they're usually in within 20 minutes. They are. They're in within 20 minutes. And you could tell, and one thing that a lot of people don't know, they actually start counting the absentee ballots before election day,
right?
Because there are so many now, because we really push people to do that to ensure that your vote is counted. So those results are already counted. They are released right at 7,
right?
And then they go through the counts as they come in. So I'm really excited and grateful for that. Working with the sheriff's office, I know it may be some contention there, but again, my role in relationship with Sheriff Bob Gualtieri is to try to make relationships better.
Right.
Because the fact of the matter is he's the sheriff, and the sheriff does have jurisdiction over certain areas, and they work collaboratively with the various chiefs of police in the different cities. And so one of the things we did is provided him additional dollars for mental health services, so that it mirrors the program that's here in St. Pete.
The call program.
Yes. So that instead of arresting people that have mental health issues, that we are triaging them and getting them the help that they need. One thing that happened as soon as I got there, maybe it was the third week that I got there, there was a big to-do about body cameras.
Yep.
Sheriff Bob Gualtieri made it very clear he was opposed to body cameras. And so we talked. He agreed to do a pilot. He did a pilot. The officers thought they were cool. They were given an option. Do you want the cameras to turn on when you move so that they activate? Do you want them on all the time? Or do you want the ability to activate them? They stated that they preferred that they're on all the time.
Wow.
So now those officers are suited with body cameras. They're on all the time. That was about $3.3 million to suit them up, and then to pay for the staff, because one of the huge concerns is when that data comes in, what are you doing? Are you storing it? And so he had to hire additional people, yes, to keep that, and then all of the equipment that comes with it. And so we gladly voted to make sure that he had the money to do that. So those are the types of things that I've been doing since I've been there. And then, of course, partnering with Mayor Ken Welch, partnering with the beach community, beach baskets on beaches. I put that in. I saw that in one of I'm always reading different magazines about things that's going on.
Right.
And people were leaving their litter, trash, and debris and everything all over the beaches. And so the baskets on beaches program, it was fairly cheap. It's like the little, when you go into a grocery store and you just kind of get the basket.
Right.
We erected a pole. They're bright yellow. We put them up there. You pick up your own trash. You put it in here. We dump it and you keep moving. It has been a huge hit. As so much so the USF now has their marine science program going out to the beaches to kind of do a little study on it.
I love it. We got a caller on the line. It's caller. You on the air? What's your name and what's on your mind?
What's going on? Good morning, kings and queens.
Good morning. We got Commissioner Flowers in the building. Damien,
you know it's up there like granny panties. I'll join the show. I wanted to have a question for Miss Rene Flowers. I've been wondering. I see it's still a big situation about people in trying to get jobs and stuff, that like nonviolent people that went up to prison for nonviolent, still holding them back because their background. And also when somebody trying to move, it's so much you have to go through getting in the apartments these days. You fill out the application, it just costs your background of stuff that you did. It could be over like 4 or 5 years and they still holding it against you. Is this something that we could do, like present to y'all lawmakers that want to go out there and push and knock on the doors and try to beat stuff down to help the minorities that's dealing with this problem?
Well, Senator Darrell Roussan is very sensitive to this topic, and he's been working for a while. So legislation will have to be passed, because when you're looking at any thing related to persons, even with nonviolent felonies, and that's what it is, that there are so many roadblocks that are put in your place. Had Amendment 4 passed, we wouldn't be having this issue. But unfortunately, the party in control up there, wanted to reread what it was that we voted on. So hopefully we'll be able to take care of that with a new governor coming into the mansion. When I was on the school board, I was able to get Pinellas County Schools to reduce the number of years, because they had an astronomical number of, it was 25 years. If you had a felony that you could not volunteer or participate. Well, my child's going to be out of school before the 25 years are over. So, it was. Thank
you for that, by the way.
It was, it was a hammer, because, they're around here saying parents aren't participating. Parents aren't supporting their children. Well, hell, they can't support the children because they have a felony. They may have made a mistake. They're correcting that. They're moving on. But because of this, they can't even go on a field trip with their child. So I was able to take care of that with the Pinellas County School Board. And I have to say thanks to Mama T. Lassiter, because it was actually T. Lassiter that brought it to my attention, because it affected her and her grandchildren. So posthumously, thank you to her. As it relates to localities, we have eased up, the county has eased up on some of its hiring practices, so that we can look at hiring persons that have nonviolent criminal backgrounds. I will tell you that more work needs to be done, and I am hopeful, and I'm glad you brought this up, because this will trigger me to have another conversation with Senator Roussan and Representative Rayner to see what we can get going for the next session. As it relates to the landlords, unfortunately, when persons are renting property, especially when it's privately owned property, they can write whatever they want to write in that application packet. That doesn't make it right. When it comes to HUD and Section 8, I had a housing conference here, and I had the deputy assistant secretary, who's a very good friend of mine. He actually came down, and we are working on trying to relax some of those, to include, we're going to be getting some additional vouchers too. So I'm just kind of giving that teaser on that. So it's a bureaucratic process. It is above my pay grade, unfortunately. But I am working to try to relax those standards, because again, when persons get out of jail or prison, they're told, especially if they want to see their children, they got to have a job. They got to have a stable place to stay. They got to have. But there are all these laws that prevent them from having those things.
Right.
So it's past the catch-22. But stay in touch with me. Contact me through my office, my email, rflowers@pinellascounty.org. Send me an email or whatnot so that I can add you to my newsletter list. When I'm updating these issues and where we are, I can get that information out to you.
And that's something I can definitely attest to also. One of the reasons why I go so hard in business and trying to employ myself and my family members is because of my background. If you Google my first, middle, last name, first thing that's going to come up on my Google search is my motion that I filed to get out of prison. And this blocked me from getting so many jobs. Chick-fil-A, all of that, because they're going to do a Google search on you. So
even though they're not supposed to legally, but they do.
But they're
not supposed to Google you.
They're not supposed to look at your social media and use that. Wait a minute. Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
They can do what they want, but they're not supposed to utilize that as a means to disqualify you from employment. I'm sorry.
I got you. No, I appreciate that because I didn't know that.
And that's big because I tie back to the judges.
And then you got the name, like your name.
It's very common.
Yeah.
But when you put that middle name in there, bro, it's like that's my Google search.
Right.
And it's there. I show kids all the time because it say United States versus Jabo. You know what I'm saying? It say my name, but it say the nickname too because people don't look at that. Like you said earlier, they don't want to go to jail. No, they don't. They don't want to go to jail. And then when we come home, it's a lot of obstacles for us to fight against. It's so many. Just to get employed, I always like to thank Trade Winds because when I came home, they did give me a chance,
right?
And they put me in a supervisor management position. And when I talk to young men, I used to tell them that, like, bro, I just did 10 years in prison and I'm your supervisor, so don't tell me what you can and can't do.
Yeah, come on.
You know what I mean? So that was that I they let me go in the pandemic, but they gave me a shot.
But you know what? You got that opportunity and then you hold it down. Don't do things that make them regret giving you that shot, because then the next person comes along who is a grinder, who's going to work hard, but they don't get that opportunity because they gave you that opportunity and messed it up.
That's true.
So,
true.
yes. So
that is true.
Yeah. And that's in a lot of different arenas and a lot of spaces. Y'all got to remember that when we disperse, like we have a responsibility that come with that, whether we want to accept it or not. And this is Rene Flowers. She is asking for your info once again. So I said, what's Miss Flowers' info again?
Oh, I'm gonna put it in the chat. And most people know my legislative aide, Darlena Herring. Darlena is super wonderful.
Yes, she is.
Darlena doesn't let anything get past her. If she's listening this morning, she doesn't let anything get by her. And she's gonna ask you what do you want to talk about, but she is so on point. She's so on point. So when y'all communicate and call, be nice to Darlena, because when you're not nice to Darlena now, I'm gonna come at you.
That's right. That's exactly how it should be, because they have more juice than we realize. And then I know I saw recently where the county's actually working on a tenants bill of rights.
Yes, we are.
So we want to talk a little bit about that, and just kind of hear what can we look forward to and how can we support you in the work?
Well, we had a conversation at a workshop, and then of course it came before our county commission a few weeks ago. And we're looking at parroting what the city of St. Petersburg did, because the whole idea with the county trying to work with municipalities is that we are consistent.
Right.
So whatever happens in one happens in the other. And it's not, I didn't know I was an unincorporated, can't do that or whatever. And so there were two sticking points, two things that were of concern to me and of concern to others. One is some people don't know, but unfortunately, the insurance industry has taken it upon themselves to increase the insurance for rental landlords who will take on persons with vouchers if it's 20% or greater of the property that they own. So now you're putting a financial barrier to the landlord. So for him or her, it is a hurdle because it's like, can I afford this increase? More. And the only way I can afford it is to go up on rent. Wow. But here we are telling them, no, you need to work with these people and take these vouchers. And so we're working with the insurance commission on that. And then there's the financing commission that also has jurisdiction over that.
Okay.
The other piece is and some of us have to take ownership, not all of us, but some of us, when we leave apartments, we don't leave very nicely.
That's true.
We don't leave very nicely.
Yeah.
And so there was representation from the apartment community. His name is Eric. I can't remember his last name, but they were talking about just how much they have to put into cleaning up the units and getting them ready for the next person when someone does not leave appropriately.
Okay. Does it exceed the amount of the deposit? Because I thought that's what
Hallelujah.
That's what I thought deposits was for.
Yes, but think about it now. If you're on a voucher,
okay,
your first, last, and security is based on your voucher.
Okay.
And that was another concern that they had. And for some individuals like senior citizens or vets, they may be at zero where that voucher's paying 100% of their rent. So they're not paying
at all
a deposit.
Yeah.
So if you leave the place not in the best position, that person's now got to come out of pocket. Now, having said that, I understand that you're in a business and you're there to make money. But I also understand that another thing that is driving the cost of our rents are the individuals who are moving into our state from northern states, where their hourly wage is much higher. Starting hourly wage is much higher. And because they can now work from home, because Google's paying you to work from home, you can come here to a state like Florida, pay very little compared to what you're paying for less than a 900 square foot apartment. You can be paying anywhere from $2,800 to $3,500 in Manhattan. But here, if someone tells you $1,500, $1,800, that's silver to you.
Right.
And so by them coming in and willing to pay that, they are taking up the inventory that is available for persons who live here and who are just trying to afford to work here, but we're not paying those types of wages. And so landlords are, well, I got a 10 unit and I can rent those 10 units out for this amount because they're going to pay it. Well, what about the people who live here, work here, went to school here, raising their family here, and they can't even afford to live here? And so it's those three things that we were trying to work on. So I believe it's Tuesday. I believe it's tomorrow, as a matter of fact. It's coming back to us. Listen, the days are going by. It's coming back to us. I am hopeful that we will be able to resolve all of those things and get something on the books. I didn't want us to pass something and then have to come back and try to clean it up or fix it. Nor do I want us to do something that is adversarial to the city of St. Pete, Pinellas Park, and Largo and others. And so we want to do things that are in tandem with them. But what I think that will do is it will hold the line on rental rates. We can't do what New York had to do years ago with rent controls, because the state legislature prohibits us from doing that. Vote for a new governor, you guys. And so until some of those things, can come into play, we have to use the tools that we have.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. I see Tony Charles in the building. You're going to cue us up. We got our Sister Hughes program coming on after this, but we still got a little bit more time. But I definitely want to thank you for coming through and talking about the Tenants Bill of Rights, the crazy stuff that's going on with the state, and just thinking about when we look at, and I had it and I lost it.
What's up?
I don't know. I just forgot. You know how you just kind of blank out? I ain't going to stall and keep saying until I come back to me.
Concern, though, Commission, I want to throw this at you. So far as our city in St. Petersburg, and you do so much, like you told us so much that you do. I don't know if this really your expertise, but my main concern as far as businesses in St. Petersburg, I see the growth, and I'm scared that us as Black people are going to be stuck in the Jetsons while the city, in the Flintstones while the city is in the Jetsons. And what can we do about that? Because
thank you so much for asking that. Small business development. I'm a small business owner, Unique Agenda LLC. I provide trainings, but I also work with candidates. My son Jeremy, I don't think he'll mind me saying this because I've used him before. My son Jeremy did time in prison as well, doing things he had no business doing. He couldn't get hired. What did he do? He came out and started his own business.
Let me stop you right there. Me and your son have actually formed a very good relationship.
Okay.
His wife is next door to my wife.
Monique, yeah.
And I just wanted to tell you that.
Well, they own a beauty salon. They opened it during COVID. I was scared for him. I was like, what in the world? And but you know what? He was like, Mom, I'm just having difficulty getting a job. And then when I get one, they want to talk to me nasty, treat me nasty because they know I have a felony and they just want to push me. And so I said, you know what? Let me get behind you. So my ex-husband, Monique's father, Jeremy, they got in there. They did all the hard work themselves. It was absolutely beautiful. And they opened during COVID.
Wow.
And have been open ever since. And then now he owns his own. So Monique runs that beauty salon piece. He has his painting piece, which is taken off. So anyway, if you can look at the pictures of my stuff on Facebook, because I always post when he does, and I pay him regular wages. But let me tell you this. So Dr. Cynthia Johnson, who was running the Small Business Development Center, was promoted. So she's the first African American to actually be over our economic development department.
You can get with her?
Yes, you can get with her, and you can get with Janae Skipper with our Small Business Development Center. So what we've done, we partnered. And we have the Innovation Center that will be opening. We've already broken ground. They've started construction on 4th Street. That is the incubator where small businesses can come in. So if you can't afford to pay rent to go into office space, but you need that office space, you want to be professional, you want to have a scanner, a printer, a fax, you want to be able to meet people, you can do that at that Innovation Center. And all of that technology will be right there for you. Plus, they have corporations. We have corporations that have dedicated their services to mentor and partner with small businesses, so that they are pulling you along, so that some of those things, access to resources and things of that nature that you didn't have before, you'll have. If you saw what was going on, and I believe One Community is a part of that, there will also be a similar version of that innovation technology right there on 22nd Street across from 22 South. We have loans for small businesses. It's a plethora of information. I mean, it's a lot. What Dr. Johnson, I keep calling her Cynthia, what Dr. Johnson did some years ago, I started it with Pinellas County Schools, and it was called How to Do Business with Pinellas County Schools, because a lot of small Black businesses didn't even know how to get in the door. So I started doing those, and I moved them around the city so that you could come. I had them in the evening time so you could get that information. I remember that. Yes, I had the purchasing department staff there. I had anybody who had anything to do with making sure you got some work. I had them there. So it wasn't call me, it's they're here. And as a result of that, we established what we called a rotating small business program. So for any contracts $2 million and under, where you don't have to have so much when it comes to your workers' comp insurance and all of that, you were in a rotating basis. So let's say you did AC and Brother John did electrical. So if a job came up and it was AC, you were first on the list, you got it. If you said, I got too much work, I can't do it, but Miss Q here has it, it went to her. So it just rotated down that list. So everybody got a piece of work, because on most RFPs for county, school boards, or whatever, there's a question on there that says, have you ever done work for a government system? So you get no points because you've never done it. So you're out of the running because you just lost 10 points. Now you get to say, I've done work for them, even if it's on a smaller scale. So Commissioner Kim Welch partnered with me on that. So did Councilmember Lisa Willa Bowman. I'm going to have another one of those with Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson don't know this yet, but hope she's listening. I'm going to have another one of those because that was about 4 years ago. So I'm going to have another one of those. We invite everybody to come in so we can talk to you and tell you this is how you can do business with Pinellas County government. We have a ton of contracts. But if you don't know how to even get in to get yourself in line so that you're getting the notices, if you're not available so that I can partner you with a larger, I call them my big boys, Hennessy, Young and Associates, so that maybe you can work as a sub underneath them. And some of the big boys, they have started really embracing and collaborating with smaller minority subs so that those subs can then get themselves to the point financially where you can now go out and buy your own backhoe equipment. So you don't have to work as a sub. You can go in as a prime.
Right. That's amazing.
I like it.
That's a lot of
and I like that. I remember when you were doing those how to do business with the school board, and that was very effective. And shout out to Dr. J too. Like we went to Durham together. Like we got like some lived experience.
Yeah, she's really good.
She actually helped also like on the sidebar. She helped with my daughter's wedding. With the decorations. You know, at St. Pete.
She likes stuff. She likes stuff nice.
Well, you know St. Pete though, right?
Like we got multiple. Listen, we got multiple jobs, honey.
For real.
Listen, we don't sleep.
We do not. We here for it.
But yes, I will make sure you get that information. Like I said, she doesn't know that quite yet. And Brother John, if I can say, as a result of my housing conference, one of the things that came out was persons, going, they get information about where to go get an apartment or whatever. By the time they get there, it's gone. So the part that I'm going to do, I was going to do it in July. Too much was going on, so it's going to be in August. But I've already gotten support from all the major housing authorities. St. Pete Housing Authority is going to be reopening their wait list.
Nice.
Pinellas County, some other vouchers are coming out, the whole 9 yards. So we'll be putting on an event where all of the major players will be there. We're inviting the public to come out. You'll have an intro table. So when you come in, you may say, I need to be able to even sign up for housing. Mm-hmm. So you'll get a number and you'll go straight to that table with the people at that table where you can sign up right then and there. The county, Barry Burton, the county administrator, has agreed to work with me. We'll have computers set up right then and there. Not everybody has that at their house. So you can go on and do whatever it is you need to do. The whole intent is that when you're coming, the request that you have, that we can get you the assistance right then and there. Yes. And I'm not sending you to another location to get that done. So I'll get that information out to Brother John as well. Yes. And we can share that on the dates. City of St. Peter's on board, City of Largo's on board. I mean, mayors have just really come out and really attached themselves. Our housing director, deputy administrator, Tom Altman, is behind it. So, again, and bringing the resources into the community and not telling them they got to come to, an office in East Jesus.
Right.
I definitely appreciate what you're doing, because one of my main problems with just what was going on in our city when, and I know it's under the bridge, but, the black pastors came out and said, oh, well, when the Tropicana development come, we're going to secure jobs. Nah, we don't want no $15 an hour. We want contracts.
Right.
We want to be able to hire and pay our own people.
Right.
As we build this city, that's the importance of, like, we don't need we got jobs.
Right.
Most of us work a job and run our businesses.
Right.
So we need those contracts. We need those contracts so that we can pay other people and employ people. This year I employ other people. Cost me a lot.
Yeah.
I regret it financially, but spiritually and building my empire, I don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I know that in order for us to grow, we got to make it and employ somebody else.
Right. And that's the way it was before. My family, we lost our business down in the district. Moultrie was my grandfather and my dad, and we had our business down there. And I hung out, especially on Sundays when they used to roll dice, on Sundays at the shoe shine shop. The shoe shine was the front, for what was going on in the back. But we lost our business down there. But again, like you said, it's just a way to employ people. And I worked at Sidney Harden's at my family store Friday night, and then I got off in time to go to the dance. And then and then on Saturday I worked a full day. And what was my job? Bagging groceries.
Right.
And then every now and then, if Nuki would let me go in the back, I was the person that was weighing your bologna, your olive loaf, get stockings, or counting out your Lance cookies. So that's how I, got my entrepreneur itch, because I worked up there with them, and it gave me money in my pocket so I could buy some additional things, because it was 5 of us. I'm the baby of a total of 12. My parents was busy trying to feed us. So, it gave me my extra. So I agree wholeheartedly with you. These are our taxpayer dollars, just like everybody else that's going into the restructuring of our community. We should have a seat at the table, and we should be able to get our hands dirty in the work so we can reap some of those benefits.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
All right, so we got to land the plane. If you had any final thoughts or any final message or anything that you
listen, let me tell y'all this: vote.
Yeah.
In the name of all that is relevant and holy, you need to vote. I just don't want to go through another 4 years of what we have been going through when we have persons in Tallahassee, they got them sitting in the last row, which essentially is at the back door, really handing you your coat as you walk out, steamrolling you. You're up on the floor trying to talk, trying to present your bill. They don't even listen. You saw what happened. They had to even stage a sit-in, if you will.
Yeah, shout out to Angie Nixon.
To try to get something going. And then they want to call the police on them because they're using the only means that they have to try to delay a vote that was going to be harmful for the community. Vote for your governor. Vote for your House members, your senators. Val Demings is running against Marco Rubio, who has never had our best interests at heart. Please get out and vote. Vote for your local officials. Don't just sit home or say it's always going to be that way or whatever. Even if you don't agree with everything that they say or everything that they do, if you could find one thing that you align with, it's better to vote than to not vote, because those not votes is why Trump got elected.
How about that? Kiana, final thoughts?
Be the change you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, that's, I mean, you know, I'm pretty consistent with it, but you know, make sure that y'all write down the 5 things at the end of the day. Again, appreciate life. We was overloaded with a lot of great information.
I want to say overloaded. You just got to catch the replay. Go back to facebook.com/ because it's here for and
it is.
I said it in the headline. I knew, and I know that she is a wealth of information, and like, be ready.
And thank you to Florida Rising.
Thank you.
Florida Rising endorsed my efforts.
Yes.
But I also had a chance to go to the Florida Rising conference. They had a lot of good information there.
Nice.
And so thank you to Florida Rising and so many other really good organizations that are coming up out of the storm,
right,
meeting the needs of people where they are.
Absolutely. King Jab, final thoughts.
As a person that just got his rights to vote back.
Hallelujah! Yes.
The first time I
yes.
Did vote for you. I'm
thank you.
I'm gonna say this. I appreciate you appreciate my vote, because that's what we really want out here as voters.
Yeah,
that's really all we're really looking for.
Yeah, don't take it for granted.
Oh no, listen, honey, I appreciate ain't the word for it, baby. If I had the money to throw the whole city a party, I would, because this little old girl from Jordan Park, they used to call Twig, you know. Who would have thought? My parents are deceased, and so is my grandmother. But yesterday I had the privilege of bringing the word at my church at Greater Mount Zion Emmy, and the lady walked up to me and said, "I saw your grandmother, Georgia Robinson, all over you." My mother went to Tuskegee. She was involved in the civil rights movement. My father fought in the Korean War, so he wasn't treated very nicely. But if it wasn't for the unions, he would have never become a foundry foreman at Schmidt Aluminum Casting. So I have great respect. Great respect for anybody who, and you know what, even for people who don't vote for me, because it gives me an opportunity to show you, if you didn't vote for me, then what can I do to show you that I'm serious about what I am and who I am. So I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm so happy you got your rights back. Thank you, Jesus.
And what I say is, vote for what you can touch.
Hallelujah.
We named several things right here. The sheriff, that's a vote.
Yeah.
That's
an elected official.
Judges.
Yeah.
Commissioners, city council members. Like, a lot of people get discouraged about voting, but you can actually vote on things that you can touch. I was harassed by the sheriff while I worked at Trade Winds for 2 whole years. I know this is an elected position, so he didn't get my vote.
Right.
It wasn't like he had somebody great running against him, but vote on what you can touch.
Yeah.
That's my final word.
Real talk. Hey, and I think you all said it again. Catch the replay. You can go back to facebook.com/Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. If you're listening online, it's 99jamstheberg.com. Tune in. And also, if you like to donate or contribute to the show, you can do that by clicking the donate button at 99jamstheberg.com. And we want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening on the radio. Thank you for Facebook audience. We also got a YouTube following. And so we here for it with the New Image Project. I'm your brother, John.
This is Kiana.
It's King Jab.
And we out. Y'all believe and do good. Y'all have a great day.
WUJM, St. Petersburg.
Right now. Peace and light. This is your brother John, and I would like to invite you to tune in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Jams every Monday and Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the latest in pop culture news and unique perspectives on hot topics. Make sure you tune in and start